Good morning, world. How's it going? This is Charlie from Reflective Mindset here, giving you a quick video about smoking and minimalism. Now, for those of you who are previously unaware, I have stopped smoking for 5 weeks now. Quite a few of my friends actually watching this video were probably completely oblivious to the fact that I smoked it full stop. Sorry guys, covered that one up quite well, but whatever. I guess that kind of shows the dangers of smoking itself. I won't go on too much about the negative effects of smoking. We all know them. For those of us that have ever smoked a cigarette or continue to smoke, I won't go on about why you should stop in a conventional sense from what our healthcare system tells us, because if that worked properly, then we'd all stop outright then, there and then, and that would be the end of it. We'd never smoke ever again. Instead, what I'm going to talk to you about is a revelation I had after I stopped smoking. So I started smoking when I was 17. I quit when I was 21, initially for a girl, very quickly after that for myself. Kept that going again until I was about 24 or so, I think. Then I had some problems. Had the occasional cigarette, it very quickly snowballed, and before I knew where I was back on to about 10 a day. At my worst, I got to about 15. I was always quite good at, never going beyond about 15, but the fact of the matter is that I was still putting a couple of cigarettes into my body a day, containing nicotine, tar, and God knows what else, so I wasn't exactly helping myself. And then I came back from skiing in early February. At the time, my siblings, brother and sister, both smoked. My brother-in-law smoked still. Quite a lot of my friends all smoke. So I made an agreement with those guys that we'd all stop at the same time. I was the only one that actually followed through and properly quit. The first day was the worst. After about 3 days, my body very quickly adapted to the changes I was making. By about a week, I was cool. 2 weeks, alright. 5 weeks now, and now I just think, whoopee, I'm free. I'm no longer pulling poisonous sticks into my body and inhaling them, and at the same time trying to brainwash myself into saying that I'm enjoying it. Woohoo! So, that's all good. I was flying to Budapest recently, and I was doing some blogging on my notepad, and I basically concluded that smoking has and always will be compatible with a minimalist lifestyle. Now, I really advocate minimalism. I think it's a wonderful lifestyle for those of us that have experimented with it and properly got something good out of it. We can all agree as fellow minimalists across the internet that we're getting something really, really great out of this lifestyle. So I was doing some work, and I found that basically I believed it to be a completely incompatible lifestyle. Once I stopped, I originally gave up because I knew it was killing me, but more importantly, I knew I was getting absolutely nothing out of it. I read Alan Carr's book for the second time. For those of you who are unfamiliar with that and would like to quit smoking, I will recommend it to you personally. It's probably the best book you'll ever read about trying to stop. And I followed the ethos that Carr promoted in his book, and I came to a revelation that, I was smoking in my life to compensate for something that was missing. It was a social prop, that held an illusion that once it was there, I couldn't get rid of it. And it filled the void to try and make me happy. And then it clicked. It filled the void to try and make me happy. And then I realized, actually, that sounds like a lot of other things that, people who become minimalists have to deal with. They're dealing with stuff that fills the void to try and make them happy, when they realize that happiness is all around them and it's how they feel up in here. And then I realized that smoking was just excuse me. That is not a smoker's cough, by the way. I'm fucking knackered. I realised that it was very contradictory for a minimalist to be smoking, not because of the health or the slavery, but simply because they had something else in their life that they didn't really need that was excessive. And once I saw through this fallacy, I found a really strong base, a really strong logic for not smoking. It's completely incompatible with the way of how to live a meaningful life. Basically, it's a negative excess with zero benefits to my happiness, and there was simply no need for it. Now, this might seem screamingly obvious for those of you non-smokers out there, and now when I talk about it, I'm thinking, yeah, shit, why didn't I see this earlier? But for those of us that were, are on the nicotine slave wagon, and more recently I myself was on that, that is a real hard revelation to come to, so I'm going to say it out now just so that we're all, on the same page. it's probably the worst kind of worst kind of addiction ever known. And by having nicotine patches or e-cigarettes or whatever other ways of getting nicotine into your system without smoking, you're still clinging to that illusion that nicotine is giving you something positive in your life. And in actuality, there's nothing great about it whatsoever. It tastes terrible. It stains your teeth. It ages your skin. It makes your fingernails go yellow. It doesn't do any of your insides any good. Tastes terrible. I feel terribly sorry. I'd like to apologize for all the women that I ever kissed when I was smoking. I'm very sorry about that. I'm not sorry for my kissing technique. I'm sure that was probably fine, but the actual taste in my mouth, I'm very sorry for that. So I'm going to upload this into my blog, connect the two up. Please check it out if you find time. I very much appreciate any feedback. Even negative feedback is positive feedback for me because I can still learn something from it. I'd like to wish you all a very lovely day. If you are thinking about stopping smoking, I really strongly recommend it as somebody who smoked a lot over the years. Last but not least, guys, thank you ever so much for watching. Have a fantastic day wherever you are in the world.